If there's one thing Parker Schnabel hates, it's losing. And right now, he's staring down a financial black hole. 9 weeks into the mining season at Dominion Creek, Parker is in a $2.5 million debt hole, with only $1 million in his bank account. That's the kind of math that keeps a gold miner up at night. His goal for the season, a jaw-dropping 10,000 ounces of gold. But reality check, so far, he's only managed to scrape together 1,700 ounces. That's not even one slash of what he needs. At this rate, he's on a one-way trip to financial disaster, and he knows it. So what does Parker do when he's cornered? He doubles down, or in this case, triples down. Instead of playing it safe, Parker has decided to run 3 wash plants at the same time, a move so risky that even his seasoned crew is skeptical. Why? Because keeping one wash plant running smoothly is already a nightmare. Keeping 3 running without breakdowns, that's just asking for chaos. But for Parker, there's no other choice. If he doesn't scale up production fast, he's going to end the season with a mountain of debt and a reputation in ruins. For the first time all season, Parker's entire operation was stretched to its absolute limit. If there is, it's great because there's no stripping. They're thawed, and we need to get some money coming in because we're going to be broke very soon. The stakes had never been higher, and over the course of a grueling 7-day run, his entire crew was locked into an all-or-nothing battle to keep every single machine running at full capacity. The roaring of engines, the grinding of conveyor belts, and the constant churn of dirt against metal filled the air as Roxanne, Big Red, and Bob wash plants worked in unison for the first time. This wasn't just a high-output test run. It was a desperate attempt to salvage the season before the weight of financial ruin crushed Parker completely. Each plant had its own assignment, and if even one of them failed, the whole plan would fall apart. Roxanne, Parker's most promising wash plant, was fed premium pay dirt from the long cut. This was supposed to be the best ground on the claim, the kind of gravel that miners dream about, the kind that holds thick streaks of gold just waiting to be uncovered. But high hopes didn't always translate to high yields. And if anything went wrong with the processing, that rich dirt would be nothing more than wasted potential. Meanwhile, over at Big Red, things weren't nearly as promising. The plant was chewing through top-layer paravel from the bridge cut, which was risky for one major reason. The upper layers of pay dirt were notoriously unreliable. Sometimes they contained hidden pockets of gold. Other times they were nothing more than glorified filler, barely worth the fuel it took to haul them to the plant. Well, that's not good. This is making me think, oh, the Indian River wasn't so bad. Parker was essentially gambling on the unknown, hoping that deeper cuts in the area would eventually produce something worthwhile. And then there was Bob, stationed over at Kinnan Stewart's section of the claim. Unlike Roxanne's high-risk, high-reward ground or Big Red's uncertain top-layer material, Bob was handling moderate-grade pay dirt. Not exactly the kind that would make anyone rich overnight, but at least consistent. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't exciting, but in a season filled with uncertainty, it was the closest thing Parker had to a safety net. The entire operation was a balancing act, and every moving piece had to function perfectly for this strategy to work. The loaders had to deliver steady, uninterrupted truckloads of dirt to each plant. The screens and sloughs needed to remain clear of blockages, and the crew had to be constantly on their toes, monitoring every detail. A single breakdown, mechanical failure, or miscalculation would send everything crashing down. And with so much money on the line, Parker simply couldn't afford that. Now, let's talk about logistics for a second. Running 3 wash plants isn't as simple as just turning them on. Each one requires a steady supply of pay dirt, which means a constant stream of rock trucks hauling thousands of tons of material to keep them fed. The moment one truck breaks down or a plant clogs up, the whole system grinds to a halt. And when you're already fighting against the clock, Losing even a few hours can cost tens of thousands of dollars in lost gold. So, did Parker's high-risk strategy actually pay off? The results are in. Parker and his crew just pulled off a 586-ounce cleanup worth around $1.5 million. That's a huge win and, by far, the biggest cleanup of the season. But let's break down the numbers. Bob was the MVP, delivering 307 ohms all on its own. Not bad for a machine that's been overshadowed by Big Red for years. Big Red, the workhorse of Parker's operation, pulled in 74.9 ohms, proving that even the top layer pay at the bridge cut has some value. Roxanne delivered 27.4 ohms, which, let's be honest, is kind of embarrassing for a plant running premium pay dirt. You've got a lot more waste in here than we bargained for, huh? I bet there's probably 5 feet in here at least of waste, 'cause some areas down here, I've run into like 8 feet of that big coarse rock. Right, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take you. You got a lot of gravel. Either something's wrong with the ground or the plant itself isn't running efficiently. While 586.0 is a massive step in the right direction, let's do some quick math. Parker needs 10,000 O for the season. Even if he doubled this cleanup every week, he'd still be short of his goal by over 3,000 ounces. So while this is a much-needed win, it's nowhere near enough to guarantee a successful season.